I love the sex machine. We should bring him back. He's a great guy. Changing songs. That was my absolute favorite. But it's fun. But in KBO, you don't know what's going to happen. So the shortstop can go 10 feet over the first baseman.
한동희 선수는 그러면 혹시 제2의 이대호가 될 수 있는 자격이 충분히 있다고 보시는지요?
I think so. He has the skills. I think just with age and maturity and confidence, and it's again I대호. You can see before the games. You can see I대호 not coaching, but just talking to the younger players, and you can tell that he's giving them little suggestions. He's not trying to be a coach or a teacher, but he's just trying to be a mentor and a friend, and you can see him offering encouragement and suggestions, and that's got to help the younger players. And I see him talking to Han Dong-hee a lot, and and Jeonju do the same thing. I don't know. It's almost like a father teaching a son. So it's good to see. I think he could be. He has the skills, and I think he has the passion.
작년에 이제 롯데에서는 마차도 선수랑 계약을 하지 않고 이제 그 마차도 선수의 자리를 다른 선수, 젊은 선수에서 채울 수 있다라고 이야기를 했었습니다. 혹시 마차도 선수가 빠진 그 부분을 좀 아쉽다고 생각하시지는 않는지요?
Well, I was a little disappointed because Machado was one of my favorite players. Watching him play was like watching an MLB highlight reel. He made some amazing plays, and his offensive production wasn't outstanding, but it was adequate. It was better than this year, and so I was a little disappointed because also he was an amazing fan favorite. His fan service was great, and he would do amazing things. So again, I don't know if it was a financial decision. I don't know why it was made, but I was disappointed. I think some fans were disappointed too. And he's not that old. Machado's not an old man, but I think he's playing in the minor leagues in Iowa now. So again, maybe he can come back in the future. I would hope. So.
이거는 만약이라는 가정을 했을 때 내가 만약에 GM이라면 다른 팀에서 꼭 데려오고 싶은 선수 3명만 꼽는다면 누가 될까요?
It's hard to say. Honestly, I'm not as familiar with other teams, so it would be hard to say. I would bring people back. I would bring Wang Jae-gyun. We definitely need a catcher, Gang Min-ho. We definitely need a right fielder, Son Ho-seo. So I would bring those that had escaped. And Choi Jun-suk. Bring Choi Jun-suk back as DH. I love watching him play. I just love Choi Jun-suk. And his bat flips were wonderful. And again, honestly, I concentrate so much on Lotte that it would be hard to say what other players to bring. We could bring Thames back, let him be a DH. But I love the sex machine. We should bring him back. He's a great guy. I saw him at Sajik, and the night before he had hit a home run, and I saw him in the hallway, and I said, "Tonight, no home runs," and Wang Jae-gyun said, "Tonight, 2 home runs." No, don't do that. But he's a great guy.
지금 이제 성민규 단장이 GM이 이제 5월까지 지금 계약이 끝났는데요. 올해 3년 계약이 끝났는데 롯데에서 그 성민규 단장을 계속 같이 가야 된다고 생각하는지 어떻게 보세요? 그 부분은요.
He's done so much in terms of R&D and bringing in different people for different jobs. Again, that's a hard job. It's like a CEO or so. Because it's a business, I'm sure that the outcome of the season will determine a lot of that. If Lotte turns around and makes the playoffs, he could very well re-sign. So I'm not sure who makes that decision. But you know how fans are. When you're losing, everybody attacks. And when you're winning, you're the best thing in the world. So a lot of it will depend upon how the season turns out. If we make it back to second place, he signed. But if we're in 8th, 9th, you know, it could be grim. But I have nothing but thanks for him and the Lotte organization. When I was sick, they helped me so much. They supported me, and I really appreciate what they've done for me. So just personally, I think he's a great guy. But as a GM, that's somebody else's decision to make. So I don't mean to avoid your question, but I do avoid. I'm kind of avoiding your question.
그 혹시 롯데랑 어떤 지금 계약 관계인지 혹시 그게 다 끝난 건지 좀 궁금해요. 그 부분은.
Yeah. In November 2019, I signed a contract to help with the players, and we prepared a presentation for the foreign players, and they still use that document about integrating into Korean culture and what to avoid in Korean baseball. And then in January, right when COVID started, I got cancer. And for that whole year, I was in and out of the hospital for maybe 2 or 3 months, and was just terribly, terribly sick. And Lotte supported me. They paid my salary for that year, and without them, I would have been in big trouble. So I have nothing but thanks for the organization for what they've done for me personally. And so that year, after that year, because of COVID and no attendance, they couldn't re-sign my contract. So since then, I'm just a fan now. So. And in the past, people used to think that Lotte paid for my travel and my accommodation when I went to all these games, but they didn't. I pay for everything. So it's just fun, and I tell everyone it's a very expensive hobby, but I enjoy it. And now, especially as I'm retired and I have free time, and my house is close enough to Sajik, I can walk to the games, and it's good exercise for me. I've been to 42 games at Sajik this year. I've been to every game at Sajik and every stadium except Gochak, and so it's fun. It gives me it energizes me. Yeah. Like last night before the game, I was a little tired. And then when I got to the game and I saw my friends and the songs and the music and the playing and seeing the players, and it just gave me more energy. And I was really, really happy until the bottom of the ninth.
지금 뭐 말씀하신 것처럼 정말 나의 인생이 이렇게 한국과 인연이 이렇게 깊게 지금 가고 있는데, 특히 롯데랑 이렇게 객관적으로 봤을 때 내 인생이 지금 어떻다고 생각하시는지, 내가 지금 가고 있는 그 길 자체가 어떻다고 생각하시는지.
It's got to be strange from the outside looking in, but I consider myself so lucky and so fortunate. I've gotten, I learned so much about not only about Korea, but Lotte and KBO, because my friends are longtime fans, and every day I learn something new about the history of KBO or a player or a situation, and I can always ask and find out just amazing facts about Chae Dong-won and the past, not only Lotte but KBO, and so I have a built-in education system, and the experiences I've had are just amazing, and I'm so fortunate to have them.
이제 어떤 뭐 인터뷰에서 항상 메이저리그는 오페라면 이제 KBO는 락큰롤다라고 말씀하셨는데, 그렇게 표현한 이유가 궁금해요.
Yeah, well, there are a couple of reasons. Well, we were talking about earlier watching MLB games, and it's so quiet. It's almost like church. And then KBO is every player's got a song, and so just in terms of energy and passion and noise and excitement, the KBO is rock and roll, and the opera we're very quiet, but also in terms of skill. Opera singers and orchestras, they have to be very, very accomplished musicians, and every note has to be exactly right, every measure. But in KBO, you don't know what's going to happen. So the shortstop can go 10 feet over the first baseman. So there's not only the noise and the energy, there's the skill level or the different play, the style of play. MLB, almost every routine ball is going to be routine. in KBO, there's no routine. So anything can happen, and that makes it more exciting and more fun for the fans. I think it makes you angry if it's your team that makes the mistake, but if it's the other team that makes an error, it's like, oh, that's great. So I think those two aspects, not only again the passion and the noise, but the skills and the play style of play.
좋아하는 응원가가 어떤 응원가예요?
Anta, seria, lo, te 전주. Because it's got.
전주는
So, 로테요 최종서다이디. 최종서, that was my absolute favorite. But it's fun and 소나사파타 안타. Yeah. And I remember 로테원 지기. So
come back please.
2 home runs for Lotte. Like Jo Ji-hoon, the cheermaster, he has to be like an orchestra director. He has to know every song. He has to know what's going on, who's the next batter, what the situation is, and he has to control the audience and the cheers. So he's an amazing aspect. He had his birthday 2 days ago, and he's a legend too, I think, because he absolutely controls the crowd and controls the atmosphere and never stops. And this heat, oh, it's got to be just terribly debilitating to be, and the cheerleaders having to wear masks. It's got to be so difficult because they work so hard. So, but they're one aspect of the game that makes the KBO special, and I think MLB could try some of those ideas to get a younger crowd and to create more excitement, so it's not so much like church. So.
만약에 내가 정말 다시 태어날 수만 있다면 야구 선수 플레이어로 하고 싶다? 아니다.
Oh, absolutely.
롯데.
Yeah, Lotte. Idaho. Same size, big. I played American football. I played from a little boy. I played football. So, but yeah, I played a little bit of baseball. My biggest game, I had 2 doubles, and that was my biggest game. But yeah, there will be so much, and not MLB, KBO. And not 외국인 player, Korean player.
롯데가 정말 한국 시리즈 우승할 때까지 계속 한국에 계실 건가 진짜로요?
I hope so. Yeah, absolutely. So I may be 90 years old, but but that would be thrilling. I mean, that would just be exciting. So. Again, I'm an eternal optimist, and I think it can happen. It's just all the pieces have to fall together, and it can happen. It can happen. So I'll always be loyal.
교수님 좋아하는 많은 롯데 팬들한테 좀 인사를 좀 전해주세요.
Thank you so much. If you're my fan, you're a Lotte Giants fan. Let's remember this season is half over, and so there's a new season starting. So let's stay positive, stay loyal, and support Lotte Giants until they win the series this year.
This year.
Lotte 화이팅!
화이팅!